We have both conformed and subverted the romance codes and conventions with our trailer Vanity, as the male character being From my research into codes and conventions of romance trailers, they start straight away with action, or it starts with music to set the tone of the trailer, followed by the action. The production logo is seen at the beginning of the trailer, making the audience aware of what type of film they're going to watch, either a blockbuster or a niche. We wanted to make sure the logo suited our romance genre, so we included the moon as it was seen as romantic. With horror films, for example, the logo is edited slightly to show that it is horror, but with romance films this is not the case. We followed this code convention for romance films. For mise en scène, we looked at films that had similar characters to us in age, such as Paper Towns. We conformed to codes and conventions of romance films by including a heterosexual couple aged around 18. However, the element we found most tricky was finding an example of a film that had a similar plot to our own, because these were mostly horrors that included mirrors. This meant we had to think of locations typically seen in romance films, such as kitchens and living rooms, paired with open spaces or forests. The colour palette we took inspiration was from Her. This film included lots of sunset colours, such as reds, oranges and pinks, which we tried to portray in our film, showing the romance element as well as lightheartedness. With props, we subverted the codes and conventions due to portraying mirrors in a negative way. Typically, we see mirrors used to show vanity, but this is shown in a good way, whereas our film shows the negative side to this. In cinematography, we researched many trailer openings, and we found that they open with an establishing shot to set the scene of the location, or a shot of one of the main characters, which is typically a close-up. An example of this would be Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. We try to vary the shots we use within our media products by using close-ups, medium and long shots, with a Dutch tilt included to show the confusion Zach was feeling. One shot our group is particularly proud of is the close-up of the spoon with Zach looking at his reflection. We felt this was an innovative way to show that love he has for himself. With sound, we followed the convention we found in other romance trailers of the film, of sound starting slowly, then building up with the editing pace of the trailer. We did this by having the same track but gradually building throughout the trailer in order to show the disarray that Zach has caused. We also used voiceover to show the narrative more clearly. An example of this used in other trailers would be Dear John. We wanted to use this as we thought the plot would be confusing for an audience, perhaps, so a voiceover from the character of Zach showing how he felt would clear things up. For our poster, we studied many different genres of poster to get a general feel of the placement of the text included, for example the title and the tagline, as well as specifically studying romance genre posters to get a feel of the specific codes and conventions with the placement of the text and the images we included. All posters we found focused on the main character or the characters in the film to give a clear sense of what the film would be about. The title was in the lower third or the centre of the poster, and the tagline was either below the title or at the top of the poster without any writing in between. For our first draft of the poster, we used the poster of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind for inspiration. We liked that it focused on the main character in the lower third but had a smaller image of the two characters at the top to show the love interest. However, after getting feedback on this first draft, we realised it didn't connote the desired meaning of romance of our genre, instead thriller used due to the colour used of blue and the bare trees. The second draft, however, we took inspiration from the film Her. This is because it was clear straight away who the main character was and also the colour scheme that was featured in the film. We placed the majority of the text in the lower third of the poster to not distract the audience from the main image. Following these codes and conventions, I feel the poster was successful in showing the romance genre and showing the appropriate information in a simple way. For our own magazine for Vanity, we studied a real-life film magazine covers to understand where the text is placed and what is included in an actual magazine in order to create the most professional-looking magazine cover possible. We took inspiration from the Tom Felton cover of Total Film, as we really liked the layout of the magazine, as the main focus was still the image with the text surrounding it. We found the masthead was at the top of all major magazines and the title was at the bottom. We placed the text where professional magazines would have placed theirs because we wanted it to be a successful magazine, which this appeared to be because of the feedback we received. They knew exactly what the main feature of the magazine was going to be about due to the clear article and masthead.